Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, we're exploring the fascinating history of the lighter industry. From the first lighter invented by Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner in 1823, to ferrocerium, the alloy that produces hot, bright sparks, invented by Carl Auer von Welsbach in 1903. These innovations made lighters practical and widely used in daily life. In the 20th century, models like the Pisto Liter Wonderlight and Zippo were introduced, making lighters indispensable. The global lighter market today exceeds $5 billion and continues to grow. Yet few realize that millions of used lighters are thrown away every year, causing environmental pollution due to non-biodegradable plastic and metal. That's why in this video, I'll share 2 simple tips to repurpose used lighters, saving money while protecting the environment. Stay tuned. After separating the flint from the lighter and setting the lighter aside, we'll go straight into tip number 1. My purpose is clear: to completely disassemble all internal and external components of this lighter, ensure the casing is empty, and convert it into a handle for a homemade mini welder. Next, I will drill an enlarged hole at the end of the plastic casing to make it easy to attach a motorcycle valve stem. You're not mistaken. I'll explain shortly. This is a motorcycle valve stem, but I'll leave it on the table for now. And I'll also drill a small hole at the bottom of the casing, with the purpose of easily routing the electrical wire through it. Alright, now we'll attach this hollow valve stem to the front end of the casing first. Attaching it is a bit tricky, and the fit alone isn't secure enough, so I'll add a little glue to fix the valve stem in place. Here in my hand is a single electrical wire, which serves to carry current from the power source to the soldering tip. I'll connect one end of the wire to the tip and leave the other end to deal with later. Don't get the wrong idea. This valve stem is not going to be the soldering tip. Now, we'll move on to making the soldering tip. I'll use the core of a spent battery to make the soldering tip. The process is very simple. Just remove the outer casing and extract the core. Completely safe. And here's why using a battery core as a soldering tip makes perfect sense. The core, usually carbon or metal, has good heat resistance and conduct electricity reliably. When connected to wire and powered by the mini welder, the core heats up quickly, concentrating heat at the tip, just enough to solder small electronic components without expensive or complicated materials. It's convenient, easy to find, cost-effective, and makes use of something that would otherwise be discarded. After cleaning the battery core to remove dirt, we'll file one end of the soldering tip to smooth out the edges. This makes soldering easier and allows better control of the heat. For the remaining end of the wire, we'll attach an alligator clip to connect it to the power source. Of course, we can't go without this tool, a wire with both ends connected to alligator clips. Since I don't have a battery pack on hand, I'll use the drill's battery to supply the power. These are two metal washers, which we'll use as intermediaries to connect the power source to the soldering tool. All right, now we'll begin the testing phase. And that's a success. Soon, I'll demonstrate a few simple examples. Feel free to watch and reflect along. We've successfully completed the first tip, and now let's dive into the second one. For the second tip, we'll use the hardness of the flint to create a simple knife sharpening tool. The secret to turning the flint into a knife sharpening tool is right here. We only need 2 rivets. Surprised? Now let's see how I do it. Pretty simple, right? We'll use the gap between the 2 flints, securing them closely at a spot that's perfect for sharpening a knife. To make sharpening the knife faster and more efficient, we'll mount this tool directly onto the drill. This is a dull knife I found in my neighbor's kitchen. Let's see just how dull it really is. It can't even cut through a single sheet of paper properly. Now you believe I wasn't exaggerating, right? Sharpening the knife is really simple. Let's sharpen this knife together. Even though I'd like to sharpen it longer, in reality, I've only sharpened it for about 2 minutes. I'll test it right away since I'm pressed for time. The results are quite good. If I sharpen it for another 5 minutes, this knife would cut through paper effortlessly with just a touch. That's it for the 2 tips. If you enjoyed them, please like and subscribe.